and it'll pop up and show you just how Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have been strategized for a number of months to try to neutralize Barack Obama. They thought they could get him during the New Hampshire primary, but they couldn't. So when that didn't work, then they tried to knock him out in Texas, etc. That didn't work. So when you look up the Clinton firewall, it lays out what they were planning to do, how they were planning to stop Barack Obama, run for the presidency. And in this piece, the May 2008 issue of In These Times issue, the piece entitled "The Clinton Firewall: The Race Chasm and the Trampling of Democracy" by Dave Serrata is an excellent piece because it talks about the race chasm demographic. It talks about how the things that the Clinton were going to do to Barack's campaign, how they're going to hurt him, and how they're going to try to neutralize his support base, and how they're going to try to pull more working class blue collar whites into their column, while trying to neutralize his base at the same time, Barack's base. And this is what's going on. That's the reason why people are very, very careful of who they support, because Bill Clinton and them are also part of the right wing of the Democratic Party. They're part of the DLC, the Democratic Leadership Council. Bill Clinton, along with Al Gore, along with Joe Lieberman, were co-founders of the Democratic Leadership Council. That's the right wing of the Democratic Party. Those are the blue dog Democrats, okay? Okay? Or what's up, dog Democrats?
Yeah, but as it pertains to African people, whether Barack wins the presidency or not, we got to come on back home. We over here, like I love saying, 75th and Dorchester, 1400 East, Stony Island, right down the street. Minister for Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, the Mosque Mariam is right down. You can walk over there. Right. We got a concern about here. How do we get us to focus back to the hood and making our neighborhood safe and clean? You have a daughter, I have a daughter. Right. And like I tell people, who's gonna marry our daughter? Is we gonna get a brother of substance? Okay, because I hear the sister, I gotta marry a white boy now. I gotta marry a white boy. Your brother's in bad shape. So how come we don't see? We're not looking 10, 20 years into the future about what we're gonna do. How come we're not doing that, man?
Well, the thing about it is that many of us are doing it. It's just that the mass media is engaging in, they're using the PR campaign. What I call it was psychological operation.
It's subterfuge.
It's psychological warfare. Yeah. What they want to do, they want to neutralize African people. How are you going to do that? How are you going to neutralize people of African descent and black folks? Is that you have to demonize and dehumanize their people. You have to make it appear, well, everything they do is wrong. Criminalize everything. Read the book Criminalizing a Race by Charles C. McIntyre, where she talks about how they've been criminalizing African people for centuries. Okay? To make it appear that they call us social, according to the book Criminalizing Race, they felt in order to justify the stuff with slavery and all this stuff, you had to make black folks into deviants, African people into deviants, social deviants, deviants.
But see, I heard you years ago, you said how the system destabilized our community. Our communities are destabilized. But a lot of folks say that's our own fault. We can't. In 2008, Negroes will say, don't be blaming the white man. The white man, we are our own worst enemy. Now tell folks that the white man is the so-called mythical, power structure does impact our community every day.
Right. See, the Minnesota people are afraid of white folks. They're extremely afraid of white folks. They don't want to confront white folks, and that's the reason why, I'm so concerned about Minnesota people, because the truth is there. The thing about it is that those black folks who don't want to deal with white folks, afraid of white folks, just step aside. Go somewhere and sit down.
We're not talking about.
Go somewhere. I'm saying not all of our people, but those people who don't want to be honest with themselves and honest with I'm saying, you have to tell them. White folks, many of them know, like Tim Wise. You have people like Tim Wise. You have people who have written about what white folks have done over the years. They know what the deal is.
People get mixed up. When I say white folks, I'm not talking about your white mama, your white daddy, and your white co-workers, or your white boss. We're talking about a power structure.
We're talking about power structure. We're talking about that small group. We're talking about less than like 10% of the population.
Right.
Okay? And I'm talking about because it's maybe less than that. But
that's that's the regular white folks at home. We ain't talking about y'all.
We're not talking about we're talking about the ones who will drive around limousines. Right. These are the weakest of your bunch. They're weak, but they're crafty. Yeah. They're very smart, and they control the power structure. They control the major institutions, the major media outlets. As a matter of fact, Sam Yet talks about this in his book, The Choice, The Issue of Black Survival in America, where he talks about the mass media role the mass media plays in helping to dehumanize and demonize people and stuff. And he talks about years, and he mentioned this in an interview in Black Books Bulletin back in 1977. Just the interview with Sam Yet, who wrote The Choice, The Issue of Black Survival in America, and back in the early 70s, before 72, 73, where he mentions in this interview in Black Books Bulletin in 1977, you can get it from Third World Press if it's still available, okay, from Haki Madhubuti and Safisha Madhubuti's publishing company, where he talks about how there's going to be a consolidation of the mass media. How you had like over 1,000 radio stations, and 50,000 TV stations, whereas it's only going to be about 4,000 when they get finished, 2,000.
Right.
Okay, you're going to, instead of 10,000 radio stations, it's going to be 2,000. And Ben Bandikin mentioned this in his book, The Media Monopoly, right, where he talks about how it's going to consolidate and how these corporations and groups, these individuals who control these major corporations, are going to control it like Rupert Murdoch. That guy's a snake. Okay, Rupert Murdoch of Fox News, he's a snake. He's one of the people I'm talking about. Him and these other people who've been attacking Reverend Jeremiah Wright. These people are snakes. See, y'all need to stop buying into the hype, the propaganda. Don't believe the hype by Farai Chidea. You know, if you know what I'm talking about. When it comes to propaganda and stuff like that, you cannot believe the hype, the propaganda that the mass media puts out about African people. And I think that we're getting to that point where we're reaching the critical mass, and many people reaching critical mass because they don't like all the stuff that's going on, and they want change. And Barack Obama, his message of change and hope is resonating with people, and that's what the white folks are afraid of, because they're white folks. Some of them who are trying to stop Barack Obama, they feel that Barack becomes the president, then he will empower black folks. And that's what they're afraid of. But it's okay when you had Ronald Reagan, when you had George Bush, or Forrest Gump. Okay, George W. Bush, who I think is the Forrest Gump of national politics, okay? Damn.